Keri Hilson has been trending for the last 24 hours.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, she is currently trending on Twitter right now because of her interview that she did up here at the Breakfast Club. So while she was here, she talked about being forced to record the Turning Me On remix that was the diss record to Beyonce and a few of the other rap girlies. Let's take a listen to her on being forced to record the record.
It's a regret. It's a regret, but not in the way that people would think, because that's a song that I actually didn't write. Those are not my words. I was on tour. Polo wanted me to do a remix to Turning Me On. Mm-hmm. He had produced the record, and I wasn't, because I was on tour with Lil Wayne. I wasn't able to like lay anything down. He had been on me for a couple of weeks about we need to do a remix. Okay, so I take off. It wasn't happening quick enough for him. I take off. We fly in. He had another writer in our camp at the time. He had her write this. So he played it for me, like, this is the remix. But I come into the studio and he plays me this verse. And I'm like, automatically, I'm like, I'm not saying that. Mm-hmm. That was my position. So I tried to fight him on it. And it was quite forceful.
In an executive artist way?
Yeah, in an executive artist way only. Mm-hmm. And kind of threatening my career in a sense, in a real sense. Like, you're not coming, because my album wasn't out yet. So it was like, you're not coming out if you don't do this. The mistake that I made was not continuing to fight, but I was in tears. I was crying. I was adamant that I did not want to do that.
And for people that don't know, you were signed to Polo.
I was signed to Polo and Timbaland.
Correct.
Yep, in a joint venture at Interscope Records.
Yep.
I was young. I was super young. I felt I had no power. I felt I had no choice.
Now, she also talked about protecting a ton of people in this situation as well.
It leaked like days after I did it, but he promised me that wouldn't happen, so it leaked. And that was that. And I protected him. I protected the girl that wrote it, who went on to become famous. I protected everyone in the story, so I had to eat that. And I am still eating it to this day. But that is definitely a regret of not fighting even stronger. But again, when your career is on the line and they make it that be the way that you perceive the situation, not perceive, but it was pretty clear. But when you're that young, you're just kind of like,
maybe they know better than me.
Right.
I have
like,
to, yeah. What did Timbaland say?
I think he just went because they were partners. I think he just went along, but I don't remember that we involved him or that he was involved at all, because he hadn't produced that record. What I do know is he went on to work with B and J.
So did Polo.
And tour with him, and so did Polo. And I would say Keri, the human, was looking at Keri Hilson, the artist, like, you deserve that shit. You should have fought harder. Mm-hmm. You know?
Now, once the interview started to circulate, the people were like, well, who is the writer? And some people would begin to tag Ester Dean into our post on Instagram. Now, Ester Dean came in the comments. She entered the chat and she said, I'm here. And then she commented back to a person who wrote, the writer was definitely Ester Dean. She commented back and said, and did. Exclamation point. And it was a hit! Exclamation point.
You can tell when somebody been waiting to come out the shadows for a while. When somebody ain't been talking about for a long time. I'm here.
Into the group chat real swift.
She ain't mean to do that, though.
Yeah.
She ain't mean to do that.
At the same time that she did that, she posted a photo with her and Polo Don to her Instagram. People were in them Instagram comments on that photo tearing her up.
Beehive went crazy?
Oh, not even Beehive, just people that were like, yo, you think this is cute? You're admitting to ruining someone's career. You're admitting to being a part of forcing somebody to do something. One girl commented and said, it's crazy that you're gloating about ruining someone's career when yours didn't even take off even with a diss. Yeah. They were going in. People were dropping the bees. It was a whole thing.
10 seconds later.
Yep. So then after that, do it again, Envy.
10 seconds later.
Period.
She then posted an apology. She said, I submitted a lot of verses for that remix. One got picked, and it was co-written with Keri. Looking back, it was childish and didn't age well. I see how it hurt people, especially women, and I take full accountability. I've worked with and supported many women since, but that doesn't erase the moment. I'm sorry for my part in it. Growth is real, and so is the apology.
So she admitted to it, but also brought Keri along as an accomplice.
She did.
Yes.
I co-wrote it.
I apologize, but she helped.
Yo, that was so funny because she posted the picture of Polo Don and she stood on it. 10 seconds later. Now it wasn't me, it was me and her.
Hey y'all, it's Lauren LaRosa from The Breakfast Club. Sorry to interrupt. but y'all know how I do. So I'm here to talk about Top Dog Law. Y'all hear Top Dog Law all over your radio, and I know by now that if you want top dollar, you should also know this. You gotta call Top Dog Law if it's about your car accident. Don't let these little family lawyers finesse you into a little check. Shouldn't nothing be little this season. Remember, for any serious accident, injury case, Top Dog Law gets you top dollar. So make sure you call today to find out what your car accident, your slip and fall, or your construction accident case could really be worth. And calling Top Dog Law is completely free also. It's free for a consultation. Call Top Dog Law today to see if your case is eligible for compensation with no money down. So make sure y'all go holla at my dogs, no pun intended, over at Top Dog Law. That's Top Dog Law on Instagram and topdoglaw.com. Now, let's get back to the Breakfast Club. Well, Keri Hilson was not, she didn't appreciate that because when she was up here, she made it clear that those were not her words.
Write the song at all.
She said, Dean, she commented on the Shade Room and she said, Dean, I personally don't think that this is our fight to have. I've respected you in this matter for 16 years and have attempted to do that again yesterday while finally expressing the truth when asked. But since you're coming to the table, let's be clear. You used the word co-wrote. I rewrote 3 lines in your verse, which was the only battle I won in the whole matter, but you weren't there when all of this was going down, and we didn't write it together. These lines are mine. I have the audio for you, so we'll play that. She said she only wrote the been getting dollars, boy, go and get your money up. No, you ain't the only homie on me, line up. She said that was the softest section of the lines were about a boy because not only did she strongly disagree with the unnecessary hateful sentiments towards other women, but she's also been a fan. She's never been a fan of a publicity stunt method. So she also argued that in her trail of attempts that the verse isn't even on subject with the original song. So she was pushing back the whole time, she said, behind the scenes. And she said that Ester Dean chose to stay quiet for over 16 years, but coming out only now when you felt a portion of the heat, I've gotten all of this time.
You know, something that was said yesterday that I found interesting, it was somebody from Keri's team was like, you know, everything happens for a reason. Because they were kind of second guessing whether or not they wanted certain things left in the interview.
Yeah.
Correct, right? And she's right. She said what she said. And the best thing that happened was Ester Dean coming out and saying something because people were already pushing back on Keri saying, oh, you making this up. Correct. Yep. But Ester was like, nope, I did write it. So it solidified everything Keri said.
Yep. Yes. And I have that verse. Let's take a listen to the verse that was the original diss with Keri Hilson's, the couple lines she wrote in it. That song was such a good song.
It was definitely a bop. And I would dance to it, but I look like cruising down the street and my 6 was supposed to be on, so I ain't even get up and do it.
You do look like a nigga with an attitude this morning.
I know.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yes.
Damn, yo.
Well, I did reach out to Ester Dean. I did reach out to Polo Don. They didn't respond to me. Ester Dean, though, she posted the apology and she collabed one of our posts from the Breakfast Club's Instagram. But y'all respond back to me. Got some questions.
Oh, Ester Dean ain't about to say, no, I'm here now. She back in hiding where she been for 16 years.
She ain't mess with y'all no more.
Her last hit, what was it, drop it low? Yeah, she done now.
She low.
Like, I'm done. I'm gonna stay low.
Get low, Ester.
Well, the saga is done, hopefully, for Keri.
I hope so. I hope so. So
yeah, I'm glad that this is getting some attention now, though, and people do know the real story after all this time. So thank you, Lauren.
You're welcome. You do look like Easy.
Yo, chill, like, no, yo, stop checking me out over here. I'm turning you on. Turning you on.
You said she looked like Eazy-E. What did you say?
She sounded like Eazy-E, yo.
Yo, you do look like Eazy-E. Now that she said it.
Lauren been saying, Jess been saying that all morning.
She said it to me.
I guess she didn't hear me.
Because we both was late, so we came in looking crazy. No, I just was happening to just be looking at her. And like,
all right.
It's
donkey
little
today.
curls hanging from the hat.
Who giving your donkey to?
Man, there's a pastor out there that thinks TSA can make you gay. We'll discuss.
Oh, my God.
I hate this place. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You're checking out the Breakfast Club.
Check out video of the full show on Tubi. Free. Classic interviews and more on Tubi every day, all day long, all for free. Just search Breakfast Club and grab your popcorn.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.